Hi, I'm Eva from Happy Painting, and I am so happy to welcome you back to another Happy Cards set tutorial. So to start off with, you will need your favorite cup, or whatever cup it was that you last used to make your circles. So I have my very special cup that I will be placing on my paper to trace the circle. And you need to make sure that you leave a little bit of space all around the circle, as we will be giving our card a little white border, which is then still needing a little border around that one. So fine liner border, white border. So about a finger's width of space all around your circles. And if you've managed to put your circles to the top of your page, you might even have enough room at the bottom to use later for maybe something like a bookmark. So to start off with, you will want to wet your watercolors. This simply helps activating the color, and I like to say it wakes them up and makes your colors easier to use. So first off, you will want to add a layer of water in the area where we will be playing with our colors. So it helps if your water is clean. I often forget to change mine. That is absolutely fine, depending how faint you're going to make your colors. It might help to have the clear one. Feel free to turn your page whichever way you need it to. I quite like doing my circles from the top to the left down to the bottom. This is simply easier for my hand and makes it more enjoyable to draw. For our first circle, I am wanting to really play with my colors. So I'm starting with a yellow, but this one is going to be a really colorful one. Lots of colors are coming out to play, lots of mixes, lots of blending, lots of playing. So if you have seen our first video, the idea of our card set is that you can create as many as you want to build up a card set, a bit like angel cards or intention cards, and on each circle, which will be a card for us, we will write a word which is intended as a happy wish. So the idea is that you pull a card at random, and whatever the word says on your card, that will be your happy wish to go through your day with you, to remind you of something wonderful, something happy, something to make you smile. And at the back of the card, we will explain our wish a little bit further. And hopefully it will give you a little nudge towards something positive in the day. So I've started with yellow, turned into green, turquoise, and obviously pink is always a nice color to add in as well. Pink and purple. And I'm just letting the colors blend and mix, and I'm not putting too much thought into it. I'm just wanting to play and have fun and try out different colors. I'm going to be honest, sometimes I think afterwards, those colors might not have been the best neighbors or the best ones to blend with one another, but sometimes it works out really nice, and I think, oh, this is a nice pair of or a combination of colours that I'd like to try out next time in more detail or in a different pair. But today we are here to play with our colours. Let them mix, let them blend, and just enjoy the show in a way. So you might have guessed already, the word for this one is going to be play. So my idea is, when you pull this card, if Destiny has given you this card for the day, it is a reminder to be playful, to find some fun, to gamify your tasks, your daily boring tasks if you want. And it's just a little nudge in the direction of remember the playfulness in your childhood. Remember how children turn everything into a game. And this is what this playfulness with the colours is supposed to hint at. I've decided I wanted some more intense colour in different areas, and I wanted that blobby effect. That's why I'm just tabbing my brush in the other areas and see how they mix and spread. So here I have noticed the colours are going somewhat into the brown, which is not quite what I had in mind. So I'm going over with another layer of yellow, and well, it's now mixed into orange. The colours have played, but I've decided I don't like the harsh border there. So I'm trying to soften that up a bit by going in with a dry, clean brush. And I'm literally just using my fingers. You can use kitchen towels, paper towels, anything to get the colour off, and then dab around that harsh edge if you don't like it. So onto our second one. Again, we will want to add a layer of water to create a playground for our paints, to set up the magic of the blending, of the mixing, of the swirling. Technically it's called the wet in wet technique. I like to think of it as a playground for my colours. So the color palette I have chosen for this one is going to be green and yellow, and I'm hoping to get a dark effect in one area of our circle. This looks very earthy and browny just now, so I am using a bit more green to give it much more of a greener tone rather than muddy brown. And the idea will be that I want to shine in some light. So I am mixing different shades of green from dark into almost yellow. Because the word I want to have on this Happy Wishes card will be green. And you might wonder why green? What has the happy wish to do with the colour green? And what I am hoping to remind myself with this card, should I pull it, is the beauty of anything green. So what particularly came to mind for me was leaves. Leaves, trees, greeneries outside. Because I absolutely love how the sunshine can play with leaves in the evening sun, in the winter sun, in spring when the leaves are just coming out and they have that bright light green still to them before they mature into darker green, and when the sun dabbles behind it, it can look amazing. And it's so easily overlooked. So this is sort of the effect I'm wanting to achieve here, which is why I've mixed in the different shades of green, the darker ones, the lighter ones, the yellowy ones, and I do have a lot of water on this circle in particular, so they're not quite mixing as much as I want, but each picture is unique, so this will be the challenge for this one. So I'm just going in with different greens, different tones, mixing them, but leaving a particularly darker area around one edge, as we will be, hopefully, adding in a light effect from the opposite side. And I have also decided to go in with a slightly more bluish green, which will mix in, or more of a turquoise, just to add a bit more interest, a bit variation in the leaves. Might be a different tree that is reaching in. And we will be using felt tips for this at the end once it's dry, to add some leaves. So now, to give the impression of light shining in, you want to dry your brush and go over your still wet areas to give that idea, that impression of light shining in. It will look very, very faint. And it is important to dry your brush or get the paint of it in between. I'm literally just using my fingers, which will turn out to be very green. So be careful what you touch. You can also use a paper towel, kitchen roll. There you go, very green fingers. Obviously, the more color you have on your picture, the stronger this effect will be. But we're not going for perfection, we're just hinting at the idea of light coming in from one side and slightly darker areas on another side. And I might have slightly overdone it here now, so you can't see the single rays as defined anymore, but what you can always do is dip into white watercolor if you have any and draw that in. Again, make sure your brush is clean between the different rays of light, otherwise you're just dragging the base color. And again, you don't have to aim for perfection here. Sometimes the rays go out at an angle that afterwards I think, that is not from my one single light source anymore, that looks a bit crooked. But the beauty with this is it will all dry and blend and come out much fainter than it looks right now. There you go. If you don't clean your brush, you pick up the base color. And you can even try to add some white or extended rays further down. They will all mix in with your greens and won't be as visible as they are right now. So once you're happy with what you've drawn, you will want to either wait for your pictures to dry out, or you can use a hairdryer like I have done here. Just make sure your water isn't completely soaking, your picture isn't completely soaking and has puddles, because if you use a hairdryer and there are big pools and puddles on your picture, they might run. So I have decided for my word play, I want to put it in the lighter area of my circle. So I have turned it slightly as the upper part is lighter. If you get too excited like I was with your colors and you mix more and more pigment into them, they become darker than I would have hoped in this one right now, but you can always try and adjust a little bit. So I find it very helpful to draw out in pencil first what I am trying to write, just to make sure you have enough room for your word. It has happened many times before that I have run out of space at the end of my word. So I was thankful that I penciled it in first. I've added a little swirl and twirl at the letter Y just to hint at the word playfulness or play. And once you're happy with its position, you can get your fine liners to trace. I've decided I needed a thicker one, and I will thicken up the downstrokes of my letters to give them a nicer effect. And it's a very easy way to achieve calligraphy without having to have fancy pens or fancy techniques, but it can add a lot to your lettering without too much effort. So there you go, here's my swirly twirly at the letter Y, just because I felt like I wanted to play with my letters, with my lines. And again, I'm thickening up the downstroke of my letters. And as it is coming out slightly dark, I have decided to add a white inner line to some of my letters just to help them stand out a bit more, be a bit more readable. And I like to draw a thicker line at the top, becoming slightly thinner, and then adding a dot. It just gives everything a bit of airiness, a bit of play, which is what we're hoping to achieve. And finally, I have decided I want to add a little bit of gold, and I will be using my gold gel pen, which I have discovered if I tilt my picture and it catches the light in different angles, it glitters and it sparkles, and it gives a little bit of a extra hidden layer to my pictures. And I am layering the gold on the outside, on the left of my letters, just to help them stand out a bit from the background and to just play with my favorite golden gel pen. And we can't forget our white. I feel like I'm wanting to add some circles to give that idea of playfulness and playing. I'm kind of thinking of ball games and the signs at playground you often see depicting ball games, or it could be bubbles. That is a very, very playful, magical thing, playing with bubbles, even as a grown-up, or maybe especially as a grown-up. And I do like my swirly twirly spirals, so I will be adding some of them as well. And a little heart, because playfulness does come from the heart, and why not? A heart is always a lovely, cute little addition to any picture, I think. And I wasn't quite done with my gold. So here we are again with some more swirly twirly spirals. I will thicken up the downstroke on these ones as well, just to give them a bit more strength and to look less dangly. So yeah, when we think about playfulness, there is so much that we could do. And I just like to remember children, how they can turn everything and anything into a game. If it's don't step on the cracks in the pavement, or everything has to be hopped over rather than stepped over. Or when they pretend to be children, to pretend to be animals. And sometimes when nobody is watching and I'm going for walks, I like to hop and jump and twirl, especially if I have music on, and feel really free and just play or touch the grass and the leaves on the side. and just be really free and playful and stop and smell the roses. So I've decided that my border, or where some of the colours are touching, is a bit too sudden, so I am adding some gold just to break it up a bit more. And like I said, I like gold. I like all my golden pens, so I let them play. And my white pen is coming out one last time, just to help the lettering, the word, come out a bit more in the dark areas, to give it that contrast. And then we're finished with our blay, and we can go over to our second circle, which will receive the word green. And green is really such a versatile word for our purpose here. Like I've mentioned earlier, the leaves can be such a wonder and a source of awe to look at when in spring they come out and they have this light green to them before they mature into darker green, but also the way that they let the light shine through different times of the day, the play of the shadow on the floor, but also the shapes of different leaves. When you really look at them, how different they are, how some are curly, how some are pointy, how some have sharp edges, crisp edges, how some have really pronounced veins and patterns on them. There is a whole world in the greenery. Or I absolutely love when I find an old house that is framed by ivy or other climbing plants, and that is sort of the effect that I'm loosely trying to achieve here with my felt tips. So I'm using my felt tips sideways, because you can create the loose image of a leaf by doing so, and I've zoomed in a little bit here to hopefully show you a bit better. So I'm literally just taking the felt tip sideways and pressing it on the paper in different angles, and it will give you that leaf shape. And since everything is already green and we're adding green on green, it doesn't have to be overly perfect, but it gives you just that layered feeling, as if you're in the jungle or you're looking out of a window that is framed by ivy or wisteria or some sort of climbing plant that gives your window a beautiful natural frame. Or you might be in the jungle looking through the thicket of leaves. And this is kind of what we're trying to achieve here. I've got several different shades of green, again to hint at some being more in the shade, some being hit by the light, and you can just freely add them, let them dangle down from your letters, let them be lianas, let them be climbers, let them be part of a tree. You can overlay them. You can really play with your pen and just dab and dab and dab and see what beautiful frame you will end up with. So here in the lighter areas, I've taken my lighter green, imagining that that might be hit by the sunshine, so they are much lighter, but also they don't stand out as much as the darker green, so it gives you a bit of that layering effect. Another bit of greenery that you might discover are some weeping willows or weeping plants, weeping trees alongside rivers that might be overhanging the river edge and might be dangling into the river. Or branches swaying in the wind. You might remember when you were a child playing in the trees and in the bushes. You might have found a little den where you were surrounded by branches and leaves. My children absolutely love going in big long hedges that when you enter them they can be quite bare on the inside but have a surrounding layer of just green walls, so they have their own little fort or den inside the hedge. And the few times I managed to step inside with them, it is truly a different world, a different way of looking at the world, and you're transported straight back into your childhood, maybe from some fairy tales. So yeah, with your felt tip you can vary the angle, you can vary the size, you can vary the strength, you can play as much as you want and give yourself the impression of being in some fairy wonderland surrounded by the most magical trees and greenery. And I'm using my white gel pen to add to outline some of the leaves, to just give the idea of the light reflecting the leaves. And I will also do the same with the gold pen, just to add that extra little bit of sparkle and happiness. And if you do have some pencil guidelines, make sure if you want to rub them out that your pen has dried out, so you don't smudge the ink. I have done that plenty times before. So here we go with the gold. And similar to the word play, I'm using gold to trace some of the lettering in the hope to give it the impression of being hit by the golden sunlight and it is glowing. And you can do the same on the leaves. Just give some of them half of an outline. So since we've made our light coming from the right, you would want to do that on the right side of your leaves, but really it doesn't matter all that much. It's just enjoyable. And if you want, you can try and hint at the light rays again, the sun rays, with your white pen. It might come out very strong, so what I have done is I have simply dabbed my finger on some of them to weaken the gel ink. And now we're back to adding our border, our surrounding edge for our two bubbles, for our two circles. And again, we're doing this very soft, easy, playful, absolutely not perfect. There will be gaps, there will be bumps, but it adds to that loose feeling. It lets you get out of your head and hopefully silence the perfectionist, because it is just completely irregular on purpose and does not give the perfectionist in my head any leg to stand on, which is really quite nice. There's plenty of times that voice can speak up, but here I don't want to hear it. So out come the magical scissors again to cut out our circles, and ta-da-da! They have cut themselves out again. So now we will write the message on the back. So make sure you know which one you're writing. For our play one, I will be writing, "May I remember the playfulness of a child today." And I feel like this is the strongest or clearest instruction I can give myself to think I want to be as playful as a child, because they find so much play, game, joy in the simplest things. So to channel my inner child, this is my little prompt for this card. And to echo the play of colours that we have done on the front, I will be writing playfulness in different colours, sort of in a rainbow, just because a rainbow is always a wonderful, happy, colourful sign, and it will add to the back of my card to make me smile, make me happy, which is exactly what we are trying to achieve with these cards. If it's nice to look at and beautiful to look at, you will want to return to these cards. You will remember it more. So if you have a very visual memory, maybe having that playfulness, that word playfulness, stick out because of its color, you might remember it much better throughout the day, and it will prompt you, hopefully, to find a bit of play in your life. And for the word today, I felt I wasn't quite done yet with playing with my text and my lettering, so I've changed the font up again just to add a bit more interest, a bit more prettiness to the picture. I do the same here, the downstrokes, I thicken them up to give the text a bit of character. And with my T's, I like to play with the dash that goes across them, which can completely transform a word, a picture. And since we were playing with the colours in the word, playfulness, what better way to add some more colour to it than by adding some more balls and bubbles, and yeah, adding just some more joy into the picture, letting my hand play, helping me get out of my mind and arriving in the picture. And really, when you think about bubbles, when you take photographs of them or look at them closely, they are filled with so much colour inside just the one bubble. It is a whole world in itself to discover as well, and it is a wonderful, wonderful form of play. Chasing bubbles, popping bubbles, making big bubbles, joining bubbles. It is really one of the simplest things and the cheapest toys to play with. So this is our play card finished. I almost think I prefer the back to the front on this one. Every single one is unique. So for our green wishing circle, I will write, "May I notice some beautiful greenery today." And similar to the play one, I will be writing the word greenery in my green pens that I have used on the other side for my leaves. Again, it just gives it something else to look at. It makes the text more layered, and it gives me the chance to play around with my pens. And since I really love the idea of sitting in the shade of a tree, maybe near a river, and having willow branches hanging down, looking through them, but having that frame of leaves, which is one of my favorite views, if you can say that, when you have some greenery, some leaves that frame a view for you. So you might be sat at a river, might be sat at the lake, but I absolutely love seeing little windows like that when nature provides the perfect frame. And this is what I want to achieve on the back of this card. So we will be using the same colors, the same pens that we did on the other side. And again, you can just play around with the thickness, with the angle. There's no right, there is no wrong. It does help at the top when you have some that are half in, so it gives you the impression that this goes on forever. But you can just add them randomly, whatever feels right, whatever feels good, and enjoy playing with your pens in a different angle that before I might not have considered. So again, I am changing to a lighter green as well, like on the other side, just giving some variation. And I really, really hope that you will go out today and see a glimpse of a greenery, of a tree, of some plants, of something that on a different day you might not have noticed, you might not have seen. But if this is your card for today, I wish you the excitement of a child to discover a new view, and I hope you can find something that makes you stop and pause just for a moment and think, isn't that nice? And there we go, this is our green circle. So play and green, maybe you can even play outside in the greenery, who knows. I really hope you have enjoyed this tutorial.